Judd's won the first frame, you get the feeling that he's going to have to play this week again, because Neil Robertson looks like he's in very good form, very sharp.
Yeah, I mean, he was one little half an inch away from clearing up there to pinch the frame at the first frame in one visit, which would have given him a huge boost.
By the way, we are welcoming any questions for our world champions in the studio this afternoon. Ken Doherty also lurking nearby. 3 world champions available to receive your questions, and if you fancy getting in touch with us, our Twitter handle is at BBC Snooker, so we look forward to hearing from you. But back to the action. This is enthralling stuff.
Yeah, very nice of you, Richard, to say there's only 3 world champions. 3 world champions and a has-been, is that what you were thinking? Was the seniors world champion?
Eight.
Just as we see Judd Trump break down there in the last frame, Robertson complained about a possible roll-off, and we put a line-up on the table here. Just keep a look at this here. He's played it plain ball. He's trying to push it by the middle pocket. And there you can see the white just slightly deviating to the left. He's played the shot he's played, but obviously a little bit thicker, which in turn would have took it past the middle pocket. Neil just checking to see if that was a plant at the back of the pack, but it obviously isn't, because he'd be playing it straight away. I think it might just flick one of the other reds there, so safety off the right hand side. Shot you have to be careful with this. We saw it in the last frame. You opened too many reds out. Well, there's a few come out. Just flicked the brown, but I don't think Neil will be taking the left-hand red. Good clean pot, but nothing to come. It's always the same when you play a shot to nothing perfectly, isn't it? You get the nothing as well, tight on the cush. And these are hard to judge. That's superb. It really is. And very difficult shots those, just to roll up near dead weight. I saw one the other day when it didn't quite reach. There was nothing worse when you did that, was there? It's embarrassing, isn't it? Because all of a sudden you're faced with the same problem you meant to leave your opponent. And in fairness, sometimes you leave a free ball if there's ever a balk colour in balk. It can be very embarrassing. But we've all done it. He has to be careful with this as well. The reds are a bit more spread than they were earlier, so it's not like in the last frame where you could drop into the pack and know full well you couldn't leave anything. If you don't hit these right, you can leave something. Well, this could be good, but also if it goes through the gap, it could be very poor. Brilliant. Oh, mind you, just because he caught it fullish on the right-hand side, he's left a possible pot on, as you can see at the back of the pack. And with the pink being where it is, he can hit these far and wide and just hope he gets on the black. And if not, he's got the pink waiting. So he's hoping for the black. He's almost bound to be on the pink, and what happens? He nearly snookers himself. Unlucky. Just a slight... If he played it slow enough, he can pot the pink because he can swerve it. But the white will be going very close to the cushion. Yes, good pot, and typical. The only place you don't want to finish is exactly where you do. Either side. He was perfect on the pink, and he's finished in the centre. You can swerve this, but it's a little bit more than you think. This is one of those, the slower you play it, the more chance you've got of what we would see exactly what happens to the white here. Just watch it arc round there. That's very good. And also when you hit the ball, even if you may have hit it thick, with that amount of side on, it's going to kick the ball over. So he might have just been in that a little bit too thick as we see it there, but the sides just flew it over. In the olden days, you couldn't transfer side, John, could you, with the crystallate balls, but with the super crystallate, you can transfer side.
Neil Robertson, 7.
Just didn't get hold of it. It's one of those, when you're playing that kind of stunt, you've got to really get into it, and he just didn't get into the ball. So another early chance for Judd Trump in the second game. Yes, ideally you wouldn't like that cue ball too close to the side cushion, because just dropping this in isn't ideal, I don't think. You'd like to have got the cue in the air and come the other side the pack, so we might have to run round the angles here, which isn't a problem when you can cue like that. I mean, the pace he's generated off that is remarkable.
6.
I mean, the white's an inch away from the cushion, and he wasn't even cueing down on it, and still managed to generate bags of topspin. Beautiful cueing.
7.
Not too many players have had the confidence to play the blue at that speed from tight under the cushion, but boy, this guy does. Yes, look at this. Takes the cue right back, lets the cue do all the work there. That's why he generates the power. There's no short backswing when he plays those, but unfortunately he's just had a kick here. Yes, we'll just have another look at this where we see it. Just watch the white bounce and the red. Both left the bed of the table. And what happens when you have a kick? We've said it many times. It just deadens the white. You don't get the spin on that you require. And luckily for Judd, it just came enough off the cushion to make it potable. It's still not in prime position just yet.
22. 23.
Well, that's amazing, isn't it? Every pot he's gone for, he's got.
30.
Nobody's ever won a match yet with 100% pot success rate, John. Do you think it'll ever happen?
31.
I think he's going to give it a go.
$38. 39.
I think one of the key features when Judd plays is just how quickly he scores. I commented on it in the studio, but it really is remarkable. That's another funny contact, I think. Quite as smooth as it should have been, but he's all right. It's disconcerting when you sit in the chair and don't think you've played a bad shot and find yourself 60 behind in about 2 minutes. Yes, not a lot between these two players. Obviously, Judd's slight favourite in this match, the way he's played in this tournament, and we suggested that Robertson had to get off to a good start to make Judd think about it. And unfortunately, now he hasn't got off to that good
54.
start. So this will test all Robertson's prowess around the table to get back into this game.
55.
The knowledgeable Barbican Centre applaud, but he still needs this blue. So they were a little premature there with the applause. That's game ball.
60. Thank you. 61.
We had a 43 in the first game. We didn't think that was going to be enough, as Robertson replied with 60, but this break of 68 has been top draw. He's had a kick, he's been tight under the cushion, but he's still kept the break going. Standby potting machine at work.
76.
Okay, he doesn't have the
77.
finesse of an O'Sullivan just yet, but boy, he pots as good as O'Sullivan. I just wish I'd have been left-handed. I don't care what you call it, Willie, the ball's going in the hole. And very
84.
quickly. He really is the real deal, this boy. We thought he was good at Sheffield, but he's backing it up here.
Foul. Judd
Oh, what a shame. We were almost certain to get a centre there. The yellow would have been tough, but Robertson has to look on as Judd compiles an 84 to take a 2-0 lead. And Judd, we've witnessed Judd coming through the tournament, and at some stage in a tournament, if you're going to win a tournament, there's going to be the odd match where you need a bit of luck. Well, yeah, well, he certainly had it in the early match with Dominic Dale. He was 4-2 down, and he looked at a bit of trouble, and of course he played this shot where the red went up the table, came down, cannoned that, and went in. Look at the red he's left in the middle as well for someone, you know, for Dominic to come and make a clearance. That's gone in. And Dominic was scoring heavily at the time, wasn't he, as well? 4-2 in front. He was playing well, but watch this one. I mean, obviously he's walking back to his chair. Things aren't going right for him. It's gone across the table twice. And how do you like those? And the thing is, he played that shot as if he was gone, didn't he? 4-2 behind, he just got down, slashed at the pink, and, you know, almost like he'd given up. Yeah, he was in trouble there at that point, and he knew it himself. He admitted afterwards, but of course, next round against O'Sullivan, he said he wasn't quite at his best, but I thought he showed tremendous character. Potted some great long balls in a 6-5 thriller, and then Maguire, he was absolutely superb against. What a great tweet he sent out at the interval. He said he was leading 3-1 and feel like he's left